Okay. Okay, so I am recording myself waxing my eyebrows. Let me get up close so y'all can see how bad they look. I used to get them threaded, but the girl I used to go to is all the way in Philly, and I'm not in Philly anymore. So I resorted to doing them myself, and I actually like the way they turn out. So I've just been kind of like sticking with it. So my mirror is here, but y'all are here, so we're gonna have to just work with that. And I think I'm gonna just talk to you guys about just where I'm at, what's going on. And one thing I really have been wanting to do is talk about my journey while I'm on it and while I don't have it figured out. And you know, because I think that's something that has always hindered me from doing things that I really wanted to do is I never wanted people to like see my process, to know my process, probably partially because of the fear of if it doesn't work out, if it doesn't turn out how I wanted to, and how that's going to be perceived by other people. But at this point, it's really not that deep. And I think that, one, people don't care about you as much as you think that they do, in the best way. And it doesn't really matter because it's my life, and I have personally found beauty in seeing people's process because that's where you spend most of your time. Like, the end game is only for a moment. Like, once you get to that accomplishment or you reach a certain level, like, once you get there, that's literally just one moment of your entire life. But your process getting there is where and how you're spending most of your time. And because I value that a lot, and I've also gotten more into documenting things, so part of this is for my own archive of just being able to look back at my process, show my kids my process. Part of it too is sharing it with the world, and in some ways, I don't want to say giving back to this world. Like, I don't think me posting YouTube videos is my way of giving back to this world, but I think that one day people will find it inspiring, and I think inspiring people is a really beautiful thing to do. So, before I get there, we're just here figuring it out, and I'm just going to tell you about where I'm at. Okay, so some of you know I started a food blog because I've always been a foodie, and I launched it on my birthday, and it was really special and really important for me. And I have set some goals for Q2 surrounding that. Shout out to Q2. We're in the first week of Q2, so love a fresh start. And part of my goals, or I don't even know if I want to say my goals. I don't want to say my goals, but part of what I'm doing is just researching and learning more about the industry and the opportunities, and being more intentional with my time so that I'm able to do what I want to do in the space. And something interesting that I've been coming across in conversations with people, like when I've shared that I have a food blog, you know, when people ask the question that I used to hate when people ask me, like, what do you do? When you're meeting new people, it's such a normal question. And for me, it just it forced me to face how I truly felt about how I was spending my time, what I was doing with my life, which was very uncomfortable. And even while I've had like great jobs, whether that be defined as jobs that paid me well or jobs that I was relatively happy about, or jobs that I was relatively like okay with, nothing I was ever doing really aligned with like something I was excited to talk about and share, or that I was necessarily proud of. So it always made me really uncomfortable. But anyway, lately my thing is, of course, I tell the people, I'm like, oh, like I'm a food blogger actually. And I say it so proudly. And sometimes it depends on the context of where I'm at, whom I'm around. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm an aspiring food critic, and like cue the laughter. But nonetheless, in the food industry. And where was I going with that? Oh, and then when I shared that, an interesting conversation I had was this older gentleman. He responded. He was like, whole foods, right? Like pure foods, whole foods, not that processed food. And I was like, oh yeah, like, you know, it kind of put me off guard, so I don't really know how to respond, but it just led to a larger conversation about, as we know, the food we eat in America is, for the most part, trash. And the stuff that they sell in the markets and the stuff that's regulated by the FDA or whatever is real life actual trash. So I've just been doing more research on things and trying to think about how, like, what is the bigger picture behind my food blog? Like, what am I condoning? What am I celebrating? What am I promoting? And this is no shade to people who, like, there's a lot of people who do reviews of, like, the latest menu item on a fast food menu, and, like, that is what it is. So nothing I'm doing is to judge or to condemn other people's pursuits or other people's angle or whatever. But I've always been so interested. I'm sitting here, I'm so distracted talking to y'all and trying to do my eyebrows. I haven't even done my eyebrows yet. So let's pause real quick so I could get this going. I'm gonna probably fast forward this when I post it, but I'm gonna finish what I'm saying after I get this started. So I always start with taking a little bit of hair off before I progress to taking more and more off, because I like thick brows personally, and I like them to look a little messy. Like, they don't got to be perfect, but just like having a little bit of a shape to them is what I'm going for. So anyway, as I was saying, yeah, so I've been thinking more about nutrition, and conversations have come up. Yeah, some things I don't want to share, but conversations have come up in my personal life around different things and how nutrition just correlates to your overall health in this life. And just taking care of my body. Like, as I'm getting older and in my womanhood, I am just being conscious of these things, and I think it's something, like, I don't have anything to share with y'all, or I don't feel confident enough to try to educate y'all on the things I've been seeing or hearing, but big picture is, like, what you eat has a direct correlation to your health, which most of us do know. And I think I'm at the stage where I already decided, like, I do want to incorporate more whole foods, more plant-based foods, but I am not at this stage of my life, never say never, because I might look back at this in 50 years of life of myself, but your girl is not trying to eliminate meat from her diet. Like, I could see maybe being a little more, consuming less of it, but I am not at a stage where I'm like, I'm cutting out cold turkey, I'm going vegan, or like vegetarian, or whatever the label is. Like, I don't even like doing it either, because then people act like you're not ever allowed to change your mind about something. So we're not even gonna go there. But I definitely am just learning more about how important the type of food you eat is to all aspects of your health, like physical, mental, like whatever, emotional. And I'm thinking about like things I can do now. Right? I think a lot of times we see things and we're like, oh, that's like too much work, or that's like just not realistic for me right now. Like I'm too busy, or I don't have the budget to eat certain things or to grow my own food. But I try to think of it like, what do I have the means to do right now? Like if I was going in that direction, what's the smallest step that I could take in doing that? And for me, something I always wanted to do anyway, I have a little plant collection going on. I'm a very proud plant mom. And growing my own herbs, so simple, so easy. Like I can do that inside. I'm gonna crop that out. That is nobody's business. But yeah, like starting literally in the kitchen and growing herbs on the counter is something I want to start with. And even just how I'm shopping at the markets. Oh my God, I know I look crazy. But like how I'm shopping at the markets and at least buying the organic stuff. But of course there's stuff out there that's saying like doesn't make a difference. Like it's not actually organic and almost like you shouldn't eat anything in the supermarket. But I'm not living my life out of that much fear where I just can't operate in this world. Say a prayer over my food, I'll be all right either way. But yeah, so I'm gonna start being more conscious of what I'm eating at the markets, going to farmers markets. Y'all, like if you're in a city or an area that you know has farmers markets, take advantage of it. Like this is where you could actually meet the people who are growing the food that you're eating. Like that's a little bit more, that feels a little bit more comfortable for me than when you're buying it at the market. You don't even know the process is going through, what they allege is going through. Like it's kind of cool to be able to consume food that's grown in your community and like meet the people that have had the hands and like planting the seeds and growing the fruits, the vegetables. It's an awesome opportunity to just connect with your community in general. That's another thing I've been learning too, is how important community is. I think moving to a new city has really taught me that, because I mean, I've always been a homebody and I think I still am. So I'm not like out here in like community in the sense of I have a lot of friends or like I'm out and about or whatever, but it is something about feeling connected to the community that you're in, and there's ways to be involved in the community that you're in. And I've seen the way community really supports you in your pursuits. Like even with me launching my food blog, I was really surprised to see the reaction I was getting out of people. Like when I shared it with them, when I sent out my newsletter, like, and some of them were people that I had just met once I moved to Baltimore. And it goes both ways, like showing up for people, like how appreciative people are when you show up for them, and then how that energy just continues to circulate itself. Once you're out here now doing whatever, people want to support you. Like, it's really amazing, and you learn so much from your community. They say it takes a village, like when it talks about raising a child, but it takes a village just in this lifetime. Like, I just think community is so, so important. And I think the more self-assured you are, or self-actualization, the word, I do more research on self-actualization. That's the term I've been hearing recently. But how self-assured you are, and like the higher your self-esteem is, the more comfortable you are with connecting with other people, and to some extent depending on other people, or I won't even say depending, but counting on other people. Because I think there's a false narrative that gets praised a lot, where people are like, oh my God, I'm self-made, like I got it all from the muscle, like, and people take pride on doing things on their own. And again, this is not to discount anybody's truth, anybody's story, because I know people have different lives, and some people really had to be out here on their own. They were they suffered from like abandonment, like other traumas, and like they had no other choice and really felt like or feel like they don't have any support. So this is not to discount that, but I'm speaking from my own experience where I've been afforded some privileges to feel supported by people, to find support in other people, and to feel comfortable with counting on people, especially as somebody who has suffered from like, I'm always one of those people who think that, and it's not because I think I'm the best at doing everything, it's that I always felt like if I'm be mad at anybody about not doing it right, I'd rather be mad at myself. Like, I would much rather do something myself because I know how I want it done. Nothing's gonna get lost in translation. Like, I'm gonna figure it out, I'm gonna do it how I want, and if it's not done right, it's all on me. And that's kind of how I used to operate in like every aspect, whether it be a school project or hiring a professional to get something done personally or like business wise or whatever the case is. Like, I've seen things where I've run into people who are incompetent out of like not care. Like, a lot of people don't really care about the work that they do. Like, I don't even want to say a lot of people, but I've experienced people who don't really care about the work they do or take pride in the work they do, and they just try to get to a check, like check something off the list and just get it done however it needs to get done. Like, the most, not even efficient, but just the quickest way. There's a difference between the quickest and the most efficient way. Like, just taking, a lot of people I find will take the easiest, quickest route to get something done. And that didn't always align with like the work, the outcome that I was expecting. So I've been somebody who a lot of times want to do something on my own. I think that's something that I've been learning lately, is to count on people, to trust people. And it comes from a place, again, of being like, I think, really self-assured and confident in yourself to be able to be vulnerable enough to give somebody the opportunity to, I don't even want to say like it's always a matter of me giving somebody an opportunity, but just being able to have somebody show up for something and do something, and sometimes even turn out better than you expected or what you had asked for or what you hoped. So all that to say, yeah, I've just realized how important community is, and yeah, I've realized how important community is. I guess these are like my 2 life lessons I figured out since my birthday a few months ago. So in 2024, these are the things I figured out so far, or that I've been focusing on, is my health and how nutrition plays a role in it, and then also community. And that's really all I gotta say. There's other things I'm figuring out and I'm learning about, but yeah, I don't know if I want to put it all out there, but I got other things in motion that I'm working towards that I'm excited about, but we want to keep it low key. And I just wanted to share that with you guys, and we'll see how these eyebrows turn out, because oh my god. Keep in mind, I like my eyebrows to look a little, like, I don't want them to look so obviously done, which sounds weird. So when it's all finished, y'all gonna be like, you don't even look like you did nothing, girl. But to me, I know what was done, so that's all that matters. And I feel good about it. So, see these little hairs at the top? Yeah, see, cleaning that up right there makes such a difference. I still got a little wax right here, but that makes such a difference. And I love a tail on an eyebrow, okay? So I never like to take too much from underneath because, yeah, I like having a little tail going on. But yeah, see how For me, it's really the top of the eyebrow that gives it everything it needs to give. Like, I didn't even brush these out, but you probably, I hope, or maybe it's just my own delusion, you could see how cleaning up the top of this one and this one that's not cleaned up yet, it makes such a difference. So now I'm gonna do the other eyebrow on top. All right, I know these probably don't look done to y'all, but this is what I was shooting for, so I'm gonna stop right here, and I think I'll probably just tweeze a couple pieces. Then once I fill it in in some of the areas, you'll see how good they look. See y'all next time.